Alright guys, so in this video we're going to try and finish the bumper. So before we actually begin anything else, I need you to be mindful that we actually altered this mesh right here, and the guide mesh that we created before wasn't actually altered because we only did that to the front bumper. So all that I did was I deleted that guide mesh, the one that we had, the front bumper guide, and then I duplicated this one and renamed it the front bumper guide, and I slide things around just like we did with the first one beyond this extent, and then put that back in the guide mesh. So that is what I have there right now. So you can see it, slightly beyond it like that. So try to do that for yourself, and let's get things going. So let's get started on this. So you can see right here we have a little bit of a lip over here that dips in a little bit. So in order to do that, we're going to go into the guide meshes. So let me minimize this. I'm going to put this off. I'm going to enable this, and then let's bring the front bumper guide right here. So I'm going to take this front bumper guide, I'm going to press Shift and D like this. So we have front bumper guide 001, and I'm going to rename that to front bumper guide, let me say inner, or a dip. I'm going to call it a dip, front bumper guide dip, like that. I'm going to go in here of it. I'm going to press Alt and S, and I'll just scale this in slightly like that. Okay, so I don't know how far deep it is right now. I need to, let me get over here. I think I can view it from this side. So that might actually be too much. Let me drop that down a little bit. Let me find a particular point to zoom into. Maybe this side. So let me just press period and zoom into this side. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to press Alt and S. I'm going to shade or scale this inwards. Let me put up the mirror. Let me disable the mirror real quick. Yeah, like that. So Alt and S. I'm going to bring this in just so we have it enough. I don't know if that is enough, so let me just undo that. I'll take this one and put up the mirror as well. So let's take make sure you have the right one selected, which is, yeah, this one. So the dip. So take it all and press Alt and S, and then share this in about the right amount. So I think that should be the right amount of dip, unless we have to share it in just a little bit more. Yeah, so that should be good. And just share it in a little bit more. So something slightly down like this. Yeah, so that should be good. Now re-enable the mirror modifiers, each of them, like that. So with that done, I'm now going to hide it. I'm going to hide both of those, including the guide mesh, and we're going to re-enable this one. So let's take this one and let's start making a cutout for this. So what I want to do is, I think the cutout should begin from around here. Let me go over to the top view, and let's see, wireframe. So I'm going to take this one and go into local view. Okay, that way we can actually do this very nicely. And I'm going to enable optimal display on this. And you know what, let's get out of local view, press Ctrl and I to hide everything else, and let's go in here. Now let's begin with this. Let me get onto the side view, into wireframe. Alright, so this is what we want. We want to make this cutout over here very nicely, like that. So we're going to begin by, let's start by aligning things on this. So let me take this one. I'm going to dissolve it real quick. Let me get onto the side, and I'm going to move these vertices around until they fall on it, like this, each and every single one of it, like that. So let me see. Yeah, so let's move it all the way to down there, like that. So let's keep it there, and let's take this, let's slide this back on the blueprint line like that. And let me see, and get onto this side. I'm going to press the knife tool, and I'm going to cut this with the knife from here all the way to the top here. We're trying to follow the blueprint line, and then we'll place it on this one, and then press enter like that. So you can see that is looking great. I think that is right. Yeah, that should be great. And let me see, down here, I think we'll have this go all the way down here. So let me use the knife tool and then cut this to here and all the way to here. So it goes all the way down there and kind of merges to the other side like that. So let me take this and this, press Alt and M, and say at last, this and this, and get into wireframe, and that one, press, yeah, And how many vertices are there? Let's just select the whole thing like that, and then let's take this and make sure one of this, deselect this, make sure one of these is the active element. So just select, how do I even make sure? Let's select this, and then let's press B and select, and drag all over this, and press Alt and M and choose. Okay, there's no active selection, so let me see. Let me just select all of this, press Alt and M and choose at center, and then let's take this and then that one and press Alt and M and choose it last. Now we'll take this and then this, Alt and M and choose at last, like that. So that should give us that dip that we want in the middle there. Or I should at least try to give it to us, create it for us, like that. And how are we gonna fix this area? Maybe let me dissolve all of this first. So I'm gonna dissolve all of that like that. And let me see. Let me take all of this and I'm gonna dissolve it, and let's add in 2 in the middle here. Alright, like that. So let's add in our shrink wrap now, because things are starting to look messy. So I'm gonna change this to the bumper guide, the front bumper guide, like that. So you can see it is shrink wrapping it very nicely, but we have a little bit of a problem here. We need to move these sides out a little bit. So I'm going to select this all the way to that one, press S and then Y, S and then X, and then scale this out until it falls on it like that. I'm going to do the same thing with this side. So S and then X, move it out until it falls on it like that. Try to do the same with the ones in the middle here. Pull them out until they are almost on the surface, so you can shrink wrap much better. So with that done, we're going to take, let me see, let's slide this in. This one inwards, all of these. I want to slide them in bits by bits, like that. Nice. And finally that one, including this. Just move this in the x-axis a little bit. Alright, so that should be looking great. Should be looking good. So with that done, I don't know, maybe we have to dissolve these edges here as well. So just select that one, press X, and dissolve the edges like that, which means we have to put more in here. So I'm going to dissolve this one as well, and I'm going to put in 3 loop cuts like that. So that should look, yeah, that should come out pretty well like that. Alright, so with that done, I'm going to go in here just like we did with the front side. This time let me try pulling the whole thing. Let me change the what do you call it, the orientation to normal. Alright, so that we can pull this in a normal z-axis like that until it falls on it nicely like that. And let me see. Okay, we don't want to move these ones. Okay, so let me deselect. How do I deselect it? I'm practically confused right now. Let's deselect all of these ones. Okay, including that one. Let's keep this one here. And let's move them all like this until this one falls on it, and then deselect that one. Move this out until it falls on it. Deselect that one. And move this out. So that should be good now. Alright, so I think it is. That is looking great. I'm gonna slide this inward. No, I think it needs to be there. We can't move it. It needs to be there. So like that. That is the basic area, the whole area that dips in. Alright, that's what we're going to take care of right now. So let me take all of these to that one, I think. Yeah, and let me go into wireframe. I'm going to deselect all of these ones, deselect all of the excess ones over there, and let's hide that. I'm going to take all of this and hide it. So let me just press Alt and H. Oh, okay. Let me see. How are we gonna do this? Should we, okay, let's hide it, or let's assign this to a new group. So just remove these groups and add a new one and assign it. So hide that, select this and hide that. Alt and H, what am I doing? Yeah, so deselect those ones, there we go, and hide it like that. So we're going to take all of these ones now, and what we're going to do is we're going to insert the face very small. So just insert it, just something small, and let's enable the boundary or disable the boundary like that. So I think that is still too much. We have to insert it just something small, very, very small. So press I to insert it very small, just small like that. Alright, so with that done, we're going to assign this one to a new group. So click to add a new group and click on assign, press Alt and H to bring everything else, and let's see if it assigned it properly. So just click on select to select the whole thing, and it did. So with that shrink wrap enabled, first of all we're going to apply the shrink wrap. So click on copy and apply this one so that everything moves onto the surface very nicely like that. So with that done, we're now going to copy the shrink wrap again, and we're going to change this to the dip right here. I'm going to take this one and add in the group 001 like that. So you can see what is going on right now. You can see what it's doing for us, and it's pretty much doing the work very nicely, but we need to fix everything else ourselves. And I'm going to do that first by selecting all of this and hiding it. I'm going to take all of this and I'm going to insert the faces on this one. So press on insert to insert it to about somewhere here. So it should be pretty close to the surface, to the edge there like that. And make sure it goes all around very neatly, and it does. So let's press Alt and H to bring everything back like that. So it's looking good. Let's get over here. I don't know if that dip is enough. Let me just press Ctrl and R through here, press E and then F. Okay, that is going all the way through. Let me see. If I take all of this and hide it, then I can take this one and insert some faces in it as well. So just insert a little bit in there, like that. Press Alt and H to bring everything back, and you can see what we have. So it's looking like it very nicely. We just have to move things around a little bit. So let me move over here. I'm going to take all of this, move it. Is it in the X-axis? No, I think in the Y-axis. Let me just change this, the pivoting, the orientation to global. Again, I'm going to move this in the Y-axis just a little bit, because you can see it's a little bit crooked. So move it in the Y and then X, so they all form that nice area. Move this in the Y, like this, and then let's move it in the X to make it look much better. I'm just going to move things around a little bit more. I think we have to move this as well. So move it in the Y. And the X. Let's move this as well, a little bit more. Nice. So yeah, that is looking good. That is looking great. So what I'm going to do now is apply that one. I think this is accurate, or we can just keep it like that. This car has many bumpers, so it wouldn't be wrong to actually make your bumper a little bit unique. So we're gonna keep it that way, even though I'm pretty sure this side doesn't look like that. We'll keep it that way. It's nothing really. So with that done, let me see. Let's apply. No, hold up. Control Z. What I actually forgot we didn't do is let's add in a new group, and let's go in here. Let's select all of the vertices in this one. Okay. So with all of those selected, let me get in here. Yeah, with all of those selected, we're going to press Ctrl and I, and then assign that one to this one. Just assign it to that one, and let's go in here and add it into this one like that. Alright, so that is good. Now if we apply this, it should stay there and look great. And let's apply this one as well. Should also stay there. And first off, let me get out of that. Let me undo this. You can see the side is widening too much. So I'm going to press Ctrl Z to undo everything. I'm going to get in here. Let's see if we can move this thing around. First, let's take this, press G twice, and then slide it down here. Let's take this one now. And get in here, get into wireframe. Now let's slide this back as well, a little bit to there. Now let's take this, press G twice, let's slide that back to here. Take all of this, G twice, slide it back, and all of this, G twice, and slide it back. So I just wanted to follow it as much as possible. I'm going to take this, slide it back, slide this back, and get into wireframe. So I'm pretty much just sliding things around to, you know, make sure this thing goes as close as it can to the edge, so that when we apply the shrink wrap modifier, it won't give us any problems. So I still don't know about this one. Let me slide this all the way back here instead. Just slide them around. So let me take this to and press J. No, said J to join them. I want to take all of this and dissolve the edge. Alright, do the same with this, J to join them. Take all of this and dissolve the edge. Same with this, J to join them. Take this to dissolve the edge, and finally this one, J to join them. Take this and dissolve the edge. Alright, so that should be pretty close to it. I think it's still a little bit too far, but yeah, let's try applying it and see what happens. So I'm going to click on apply on the first one. Okay, it kind of stays there. Doesn't really cause too much problem. It kind of stays there. So let me apply this one as well. So apply. Alright, not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let me just undo all that. I'm going to undo all that. I have to do one more thing. Let me get in here, select all this. Let's take all that one, press H to hide it. I'm going to take all of this now. Let's insert the face even more to about somewhere here. Just make sure it goes all around very nicely, which it does. But you can see it's causing some problems over here. So let me insert again. And what we're going to do now is we're going to move things around just to make it look much better. So just slide things around to make things look better and better. Move this back a little bit, and then in the z-axis move this back, move this up to there, and yeah, so let me see. Let me pull this back a little bit more further. Alright, so press Alt and H to bring everything back, and that should be good. You know, let's keep the shrink wrap enabled, so should be looking great like this. It's not that bad. So that is the first step of the bumper. Now we're going to try to create the areas in it, that is these cutouts that we're seeing here. So let's get onto the front view, and we'll begin with the one at the center, this area right here. So let me get into solid view. Now I'm not going to use the blueprint for this. I'm going to eyeball it and try to create this myself. So we'll leave this space right here, and let me just add in a loop cut through here. So right to there, I want to add one also over here close to the top. So I'll just move that up to here, and one down here close to the bottom. This one is pretty close to the bottom, very, very close. So with that done, these are the vertices we want to delete. These ones, I think, is that right? No, excluding this one. So these are the vertices we want to delete. So select them and delete the vertices like that. So I think that is pretty close looking at the judging from the reference image. Yeah, so it's pretty close. So with that done, I'm getting to the front view. I'm gonna add in another loop cut in the middle here, add one up here as well, and yeah, I think that is pretty close. I'm gonna take this, slide it here a little bit, and slide this up here. Let me slide this in a little bit more, and then try to mellow it out with that one. Slide this down about the same distance, slide this in about the same distance, slide this here, and slide this in like that. So that should be looking good. Yeah, so with that done, I'm not really having a good view of the image there, but let's just get in the front view. I'm going to take this one, I'm going to press G twice, press E and then F, and you know what, let's press F and let's insert the faces just a tiny bit like that. Press X and delete the faces. So that should be looking great, and I can't really get a good view of how this place looks like. Can't really get a good view but I'm gonna keep it the way I think it is. So let's take all of this, let's press E and then Y, extrude this a little bit like that, press E and then Y again a little bit, and then E and then Y and extrude this. Hold up, this one went too far. So E and then Y up to the first one, extrude it just a little bit, and then E and then Y all the way in. Press Ctrl plus, and then let's remove this from the group. I think the group 1. Remove like that. Let's put one in here and assign it. So that should be looking good all around it. Unless I'm wrong. Let me take this one. Let me see if I press. Okay, this one is causing a little bit of a problem. I don't know why. Let me just dissolve these edges right here and see. Yeah, how do we? Let me assign these ones first. Okay, so I'm gonna assign it in, and what do we do? Let's take all of these ones. Alright, I'm gonna press Alt and S and try to fatten it up a little bit like that. Okay, because you can see in the reference image it looks like that. But let me dissolve this one and let's do it with this one instead. So Alt and S and then try to fatten it up like that. Yeah, so that isn't bad. But now we have to move things around over here. So let's zoom in down here. Let's take this vertex right here into wireframe. Take this vertex, press G twice. Let's slide that up. Let's take this, slide it up over to here. Let's get into solid view. Yeah, so that is looking good. We're going to do the same thing up here. So let's take this one, let's slide it down to here, and let's take this, get into wireframe, and slide this back. Slide it back to here. And let's take this, slide it in between the two of them, like that. So that should look great, I think. Yeah, it should look good. But I want to move these ones around a little bit. So let's take this one, let's move them back to the initial position, because I think I need that roundedness over there after all. So yeah, just move things around over here a little bit. I'm going to move this up so this one is straight over here. I'm going to do the same thing over here as well. Take these two and bring them back to their position. Like that. So let's take this one and let's delete it. We're going to extrude a new one with this. So E and then Y. Extrude it back to here and then E and then Y all the way in. Like that. So that is the first part.